Hello. I believe this is recording. This is just a test. Let's make this bigger so I can see that. That's cool. This is neat. Okay. Hello. How are y'all? I guess I'll look at the camera as best as possible. It is weird with the headphones on to muffle my voice. But I'm gonna go whatever. This is a great start. This is a really good start. Okay, so to start things off, you're probably wondering why you are here, why I am here, what this is, and what is going to be happening over the next coming length of time, however long it takes to release everything. I'm either going to do a weekly release or a bi-weekly release. One is definitely going to take a lot less time than the other. So we will see how that goes. So I guess to catch y'all up on this, what this is essentially um, uh, last year. Gosh, I'm doing this all uncut, unprepared, and raw, as I believe it should be. So you can see all the mistakes, all the good things, all the bad things. You know, it's a real live thing. But back to what we're doing and what you're doing here. So back in 2019, I started writing a treatise on a theory that had came to me across time. And essentially, there is a better backstory to how to describe that. Please watch the videos that precede this video that are already posted on my channel if you want to hear more about the backstories and the origin stories. But that's all going to be in here as well. But essentially, I started writing what I call a funk treatise. Many of you probably already know about this and everything because 6 years that I've been writing this now, and even longer that the thoughts and theories were building up together. And leading up to now, last year I completed the fifth and sixth editions of my this treatise. And what each edition means is I went through the entire treatise and I re-edited the whole thing. Like basically, I would reread and then add or take out basically things that either I thought would help or weren't needed. And so I've done that now 6 times, full read-throughs, and it's getting longer and longer, as it will. But last year, after the fifth edition, I reached out and I hired 30 people to read this treatise. And essentially, I gave them each 10 pages, and then I asked them to kind of describe uh, what they just read, how it made them feel, what it made them think. Just basically kind of give a peer review and a summary on uh, just the 10 pages. I said you can read the 10 pages, you can read how many you want. I just wanted them to read uh, on video and talk about 10 pages each so that it was digestible. And then I wanted variety from people so that anyone now watching can see how it affects and translates into each other and everything. It's a really interesting project. It's a really interesting idea. Um, just as a little backstory, did I show you this? This is the printed version. If you would like a copy, please hit me up. It's only about $20. I make no profits off of that. Everything will go to the publisher. Shout out to Ankle Biters Publishing. Kaylin, thank you so much for everything, all these years of publishing, and many more to come probably. But back to, I'm going to get sidetracked a lot. I apologize. It's just a part of ADHD and everything. But moving back into why I hired these people to read this thing. Oh my gosh, my computer just went to sleep. So I don't want that. I need to fix that setting so that doesn't happen in the future. But basically, why I am now extending this to other peer reviews, because I'm at that step of peer review. I'm looking for ways to prove and disprove this information, doxastic and normative defeaters and such. And so there's going to be a lot. There's going to be a lot of agreement. There's going to be a lot of disagreement. When I first started this project and writing this treatise, I wanted to talk about it. It was a very fascinating subject that I thought would reflect with a lot of people and resonate. And so I started posting about it. And at the time I was working very weird hours and everything. Basically, like, I would work at night and then I would just stay up until like 7 a.m. And then I would sleep till like 4 or so, and then I'd go back to work, and I would do this almost every day. And it was wonderful. I loved it. I got so much art and creative things done just in my own time at those times. It was a very, very cool and unique time in my life. And then to sidetrack from again, I'm going to have these temporary blanks because I will sidetrack myself. Oh, and the response to this information. And so this is kind of a, when this first started, I had a couple people who were, I'm not even going to get to that. I'm just going to say that overall, there has been a wonderful response to this information. It resonates with a lot of people. I have only seen in the very beginning a couple people be like, Sean, are you okay? Like, you're acting really strange, really weird. But that is going to be a pattern that you're going to see with any information and such. Or when someone is having an enlightening or a revelation, or they're just like, in a good moment. There are better words for this and everything, which are going to be described in the treatise and outside of the treatise. I still don't have the exact vocabulary for everything, so bear with me, because I'm learning just as you are. This is not something that is complete, and it is going to be continually on growing. And so I have written in my notes why I am doing what I'm doing, why I'm writing this treatise, why I'm sharing these videos. And so I'm going to read those with you now. So the first thing is kind of just what I said. Like, I'm here to learn new things. Like, this is a journey of discovery for me. Essentially, like, how I would describe funk overall is funk is what reality is created from, and what reality and what existence is created from, and what reality exists within. And there's a better job, because again, I'm not going to sit here and get into funk right now, because I will talk all about it. And if you want to hear more about what it is, previous videos, or just keep watching these videos, and that will explain the entire treatise, and you'll get a much better idea. But I'm here to learn new things with people. I'm here reaching out again for peer review. That is going to be a an experience, because I know already that people are going to respond to this in the way that they do, the ways that people are. They're just going to feel about this information, and it's going to affect them in a way. And so I'm excited for that journey, and to see how we respond and work with that information together, and how it translates. Because one of the goals of this is to continuously evolve it and polish it until I no longer can, and then that will be what I pass on to the future generations. I kind of am using this as a platform to build community and everything. I would like to revitalize a greater societal community, I guess, if that's what I'm saying. It's like we see currently, 2025, the problems that we as humans just have with each other, right? Within America and outside of America. Just, humans are humans doing their own things. And I am not the person who's going to solve these things, right? That'd be great, right? It'd be nice, but very, very likely that is not going to be me. But the hopes of this is essentially like this is another stepping stone to that. By doing this, it is therefore affecting reality, and everything after it is going to be affected by these moments, indirectly and directly. And I talk about these things in the treatise and describe why that is and everything, or the theories behind it and the suggestions. And so my goal is to like kind of what I would like to see happen is a branch between humanity of people in fighting each other. And I mean, I understand that there is balance, that there's always going to be a synthesis to the thesis and antithesis. You're going to have one thing, and then on the other side, that's going to challenge this thing. And then eventually they will synthesize out, and then there will be another to that. That synthesis becomes the antithesis, the thesis, and this will be the antithesis. And there will be all this forever balance, right? And so my goal is to just, keep us moving on to that. What I would again love to see is as Nietzsche described as the overman of guiding us in the direction of what is next for humanity. Like if essentially, like, theoretically evolutionary, if monkeys are to humans, what are humans to? What are we going to become? And I would like to see that through and help us guide us towards that path. Again, I'm not going to have all the right answers and everything. That is why I want to work together with people so that we can figure out what that looks like. And if we want to even do that, I'm just suggesting my observations and the collections of past philosophers and anything and everything. This is all, again, funk working together, providing this moment for me to you. In that, I wrote down a quote that I'd like to share. So essentially, this is a good quote by Timothy Leary that I only knew part of it. But I wrote down the full quote because that's what, when I Googled it earlier, it said, and I enjoy it. And so I'm going to share it with you now. So this was Timothy Leary. He says, "Admit it. You aren't like them. You're not even close. You may occasionally dress yourself up as one of them, watch the same mindless television shows as they do, maybe even eat the same fast food sometimes. But it seems that the more you try to fit in, the more you feel like an outsider, watching the normal people as they go about their automatic existences. For every time you say club passwords like 'have a nice day' and 'weather's awful today, eh?' you yearn inside to say forbidden things like 'tell me something that makes you cry,' or 'what do you think deja vu is?' Face it, you even want to talk to that girl in the elevator. But what if the girl in the elevator and the balding man who walks past your cubicle at work are thinking the same thing? Who knows what you might learn from taking a chance on conversation with a stranger? Everyone carries a piece of the puzzle. Nobody comes into your life by mere coincidence. Trust your instincts. Do the unexpected. Find the others." And that is the part that has stuck with me over the years, is find the others. Who are the people that want to talk about these things? Who are the people who want to discuss these things? Because, just like you said, the common question of like, terrible weather today, or like, how's your day? For me, that has always just been such a, like, okay, this is a nice icebreaker, okay, but then that's basically it. It's just a common courtesy of like, hey, I acknowledged you and I said this thing about the weather, or I asked how you were, and most people will be like, good, or I'm hanging in there, you know, and that's it. But for some reason, because we're so caught up in our lives and the things that we have to do, we can't take the time for those other questions. And I'd like to get back to that. And so I'm opening that here for us to do. And so I'm hoping to build that community and reach the others and find the others. So if you are the others, hello, nice to meet you. I'm glad to have you here. Next, I already said this, learn new things, because I thought that this was the top, but now I'm scrolling back down. So yeah, I want to learn new things. There's a lot of cool things that I will showcase in this treatise on how synchronicity and funk and what I call caravana lead to each and every moment, and how basically like 9 years ago, as we'll go through together as you're listening to the treatise and all these videos, you'll see like how kind of I got here. It's not going to be like a step by step. You're not going to see like every single day of my life, but it's a really cool. As I went through the treatise, and every time I'm doing a new edition and editing, I will leave timestamps of where I am in life, and so I might be talking. All the original text is from 2019, but as I'm going by and as I'll say something, I'll leave a timestamp from like yesterday, like 2015 or 2015, 2025, essentially commenting on that and extending my now knowledge off of that past knowledge. And I think that is such a cool thing on evolving and growing this thing. And it seemed to reflect a little bit well with others when they were reading it as well. Next. So overall, with this, I am not looking for fame. I'm not looking for fortune. I feel personally right now, I'm very happy with life and how things are right now. I feel I've been very successful in all the other things that I've done getting up to this moment. I'm living very comfortably after many years of trying to live as a starving artist. The funk, as I'll say it a lot, and you'll hear it a lot in this treatise, the funk provides. And when you dive into these things, or at least when I have, it it takes you on this journey, and it opens you up to these things. It's magical, and I can only suggest this to you. I can't exactly prove it to you, and that's another thing about this treatise is I'm going to kind of try to open your eyes on that experience of like synchronicity and how when you open yourself up to funk, the funk provides, and it provides good and bad experiences. It's not all good. You're not going to get this infinite amazing thing because it's going to balance. But it's about exercising that balance and try and learning how to recognize when life is speaking to you and everything. And it's a weird experience. Again, you're going to see in the treatise, and people are going to read it, and they're going to feel themselves. It's weird, and when I was first trying to explain it, when I didn't really have the words how to do that, there was pushback of people being like, "Are you okay?" Blah blah. It wasn't a lot. It was like two people, and I think we all handled it well. But that what I call kind of the philosopher's curse. Some would call it the curse of genius. I'm not a genius by any means. My wisdom exceeds my intelligence, is I would say. But that is, again, feeding into my ego, which I am trying to dissolve. So don't feed that either, because I don't like it, and I don't really want it. So don't be over here, put me on this pedestal or anything. I am not above any of you or anyone. I am just another human being sharing this message. So with that, again, I don't seek fame or fortune, but I am seeking the ability of influence. What I would like to happen with all of my projects and everything, even this, is to continue building up success. To be able to inspire change and make change. Like now that I have reach and outreach and that is expanding and growing, using that properly and correctly, and not letting it become uh, polluted and everything. And then also having you as a community hold me accountable on that, because I am going to make mistakes. Uh, Again, there's going to be that balance. It is, the funk provides good and bad opportunities. So please bear with me as we're on that journey, and I will be here to bear with you. Um, One thing on what a few people, I did hire these people last year to do this, all these readings and everything. Why it kind of took me some long is work was getting in the way. I didn't have a lot of time to like do these videos and really sit down and analyze them. Additionally, uh, I was using an old computer, and that was going to be difficult. Excuse me, to make these recordings and everything. I forgot the other reason I was just going to say, but what I really wanted to do was leave some time between the readings and now, so that to give the opportunity for those like who took part to become completely different yaws of themselves. And yaw is something that you will be learning in the treatise. Essentially, it's uh, you'll figure it out. You'll figure it out. It's just a different version of you or anything, basically. Like right now, at every moment, I'm becoming a different yaw of myself. I'm no longer the past me. I'm the future me, so I'm a different yaw. Uh, if that makes sense. Kind of. Again, we'll be getting into that more. I'm not going to explain everything, or this video is going to be forever. Uh, and so I essentially wanted people to become different, so that they had the opportunity to discuss how they feel about it now, compared to how they felt about it then. And a lot of folks, I believe, only read the 10 pages that I assigned them. So I would really like to hear more feedback if they listen to the whole thing or feel more of that thing, because it was really interesting seeing how much people were understanding just from 10 pages. I mean, these were like random sections of just 10 pages, and then they would give me a review, and it'd be like, wow, you're pretty on point with exact what I was explaining. Which again shows me I'm on a not like the exact true path, but that I'm heading in a right direction, because more and more people understand and resonate with these ideas and concepts. And I have become better at explaining them, which was the biggest issue in the beginning. And again, in the treatise, you will see a wonderful examples of people showcasing that and being like, save this information. You're not there yet. Like, you're not making sense. Keep working on it. And I did. Now we're here. So that's exciting. Another thing is, this is not a how-to. I cannot tell you how to live. I cannot tell you how to be. These are just suggestions. These are observations that I and that other people have shared, things that I've come across, things that funk have led me to. And essentially, there are a lot of things, uh, because it's essentially, I'm taking and studying almost every religion, ideology, philosophy, and um, seeing the patterns within all of them on what is working for people and such, and putting it all together. And uh, and for me, that seems to be working. Uh, but I can't say that for everybody, because the funk is different for anyone and everyone and everything. Uh, and so again, this is not a how-to. I can't tell you how to live. I can give suggestions. But a quote came to me a couple days ago that I felt resonated with this intro. This is from Hunter Thompson, Hunter S. Thompson, I believe, if we have to use full names. But essentially, what he said was, "You ask advice. Ah, what a very human and very dangerous thing to do. For to give advice to a man who asks what to do with his life implies something very close to egomania. To presume to point a man in the right direction and ultimate goal, to point with a trembling finger in the right direction, is something only a fool would take upon himself." I don't want to be a fool. So again, these are suggestions, but they're suggestions that I think that we should take note of and hone and polish until we can, because you can't really prove it right or wrong, but who's to say one day that we can? And that's another key point, is that we, to showcase how quickly things change, and um, essentially how the impossible is only impossible until it is possible, through time and being and everything in existence. Um, just like 5 years ago, uh, even less, how AI has just exponentially exploded into these things. And that's another thing we'll get into of this thing, because I have my own opinions on that, and we'll get into that. But Hunter S. Thompson continues to say, every man is the sum total of his reactions to experience. As your experiences differ and multiply, you become a different man, and hence your perspective changes. The answer, then, must not deal with goals at all, or not with tangible goals anyway. In short, a man who has found meaning has not dedicated his life to reaching a predefined goal, but he has rather chosen a way of life he knows he will enjoy. He knows he will enjoy. The goal is absolutely secondary. It is the functioning toward the goal which is important. And again, that's kind of like how I stated earlier. Uh, this is not the answer. If you're looking for the meaning of life, this isn't it. This is just a stepping stone in the immense path of all the directions that this goes. It's just a brick in the wall, right? Um, and so, uh, that, and the last thing that I have written down is essentially like, uh, don't take in too much of this, or any spiritual or religious or whatever. Like, take it in digestible amounts. Do not overwhelm yourself. Take breaks, take rests. If you move too fast, there is a thing called spiritual psychosis. I'm not going to get into it too much or anything, but it is essentially something that you should be concerned about when you're diving in too hard, too fast with things that resonate with you. And that is something that I kind of do worry about this a little bit, because I think some people will feel that it is culty or cult-like, and I'm in no way trying to start a cult. I don't want to be a leader of anything. Um, I can't say I don't want to be a leader of anything. I do want to help lead people, but the way that I lead is not as a like a boss or a manager. I'm not above anyone. The way that I like to lead is we are all on the same level. Um, we just have different abilities that we need to help each other out, that we can use in our ways and stuff. I'm not trying to overpower or overtake anyone or anything. Um, my intentions are constructive, I guess, progressive. You'll see that in the treatise on kind of where I stand. But essentially, my love is unconditional. Uh, if you're watching this, I love. I know it might be weird to hear. Some people might think it's weird to say, but it's true. Uh, there's a deep connection, and I think it's beyond coincidence. The power of you and I being right here, right now, me talking to you, you listening to this at whatever time that you are in space and being. We are now connected, and that is incredible. Uh, and so, yeah, stay active, move your body, ground yourself, take rests. Um, when you're overwhelmed with anything in life or in general, rest. Take a rest. Reflect on everything that you've been through and how to move forward. And when you're ready, there will be so many other options waiting for you to do. Uh, the funk provides. Well, all right. I appreciate you listening. I hope I have explained everything that I wanted to explain in this intro. I hope I didn't ramble or bore you too much. I'm very excited to hear your thoughts, or anyone and anyone's thoughts on what is to come. I'm excited to start the 7th edition with everyone. And so let's do this. Uh, thank you for being here. I love you. Um, I'm still working on endings. I'm not good at it. All right, so I'll see you later. Fart noises. Okay, later.